welcome back to part 2 with Anthony. It's the Marc-Anthony experience on Instagram, YouTube. I wanted to do another video with him because if you watch the previous video from last week, I told how I didn't meet him, but I ran into you at the Heart Ball. And we were talking about kind of like our vision and what we saw, like what we wanted to do for the Chattanooga community and what we wanted to bring to Chattanooga. And I think we both realized like, oh, we're on the same page. Well, hell, why don't we do this together? And I think one common person that we kept bringing up was Erica, which I hope to film a YouTube video with her either the next week or the next. Whenever I can. That woman is amazing. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. But that's what Erica was trying. What we are talking about doing, that's what Erica got started. And so I wanted to come on and talk about that and hopefully get a few of you guys in the community getting together and us talking about it and starting something. So briefly kind of talk about your view, what you would like to get started, and what you were doing with Erica before COVID, and COVID fucked up everything.
So Erica, I call her Big Sis. She's been a mentor for me for about almost 5 years now, almost 5 years. Since I started school, she was my first mentor that really poured into me. A month into being into school is when she threw the Up Next Barber Showcase in 2019. And that was the first showcase. She dropping flyers, I jumped in, and the whole purpose of the showcase was to showcase the local Chattanooga talent, because we haven't had any hair shows here, really for the barbers. So she went to Chat State, all the barber schools, roped in all of us barbers, because she's Mama Bear in the city. Everybody knows her. We all have love and respect for her. But the purpose of it was for us to be able to get together, to showcase our talents, and really to showcase the next generation. So it wasn't for the seasoned barbers, for the veteran people. It was those guys in hair school, the people who are just graduating, those first fresh people who are coming into the industry, and to give us a platform to be able to show what we have to offer to the world. She brought in some big-time barbers from Atlanta and a couple other cities. And like I said, that was a vision of hers to kind of unite Chattanooga together, but also to kind of put on for the city, because Atlanta's popping, Nashville's popping, Miami's popping. What about Chat? You know what I mean? We have some good juice here, and we have a good location where we are. We have a lot of good practitioners here as well. So why not us? Why are we not putting Chat on the map? So that was 2019. 2020 was supposed to be the follow-up. So the first one was the Up Next Barber Showcase. The second one, where I was in the planning committee, this was supposed to be who's up next, So we're gonna follow it up, all right, so who's the next up and coming barbers in the city? COVID comes, shut it down, and then I meet Holly, at the ball over the weekend, and we're just what are you really thinking about doing in Chattanooga? I feel like there's some more we can really do to add value to the city. We're talking about, hair shows and this and that, and I feel like there was a click that night, yo, we kind of on the same page about this. I think we're onto something. I think that, it's gonna take a team to do it, but for us to be able to take the synergy and this chemistry and really put something on that would be special for the city, and not just for us. We're I'm not saying we've arrived, we're there, but there's so much younger talent and other people and people in the surrounding areas, the tri-state area. Why don't we put on something that'll bring a little bit more light to the city and also to the people who are doing really dope work here, and also to the industry at large? There's no reason why we can't do it here. We just haven't done it here.
No, and I don't understand why. And we were talking earlier, is Chattanooga is a travel hub. We have so many 18 wheelers, big trucks, all that stuff, because they're constantly moving through Chattanooga. Because there's Nashville, there's Birmingham. We are on the line. We're on the Georgia line. We're on the Alabama line, and then you got Tennessee, all within 10 miles of each other. You can go to 3 states in 30 minutes. That's insane. Insane. And so we could have people from Alabama. Knoxville's only 2 hours away. Birmingham's only 3 hours away. Nashville's 2.5 hours. Atlanta is
2 hours.
Yeah. So why have we not had a hair show? We could grab all these people from these major cities, bring a lot of money into Chattanooga to help locals, and I just don't understand why it hasn't happened. So we need to make it happen. and getting a community of people. Like, I know that you said Erica said that she would help us out with it, but she kind of needed to take a step back, which I totally understand.
Yeah. Her perspective was, and we had this talk like a few months ago. She said, "Bro, I would love to help, but you're up next. You know, you guys are up next. Like this next generation, I did my time. You know, I'm willing to assist. I'm willing to help. So the challenge is really not what can they do for us. It's really what can we do for us? You know what I'm saying? What resources do we have access to now? We got technology, we got social media, we have marketing, we're in driving distance. Like the only thing that's stopping us is us, you know, and putting the plan on paper. You know, if you don't write a vision down, it doesn't come to pass, you know, making it real. Like I said, funding is another thing, you know, making sure that there's enough resources, enough sponsorship, that people are bought into it. And then lastly is like just belief, you know, like when Erica did it the first time, she did it all by herself, no help. She financed the whole project by herself, you know, from her pocket, and it was a success. You know, we're talking 2019. There wasn't a team involved, you know, to that capacity. Like she had like people working on the project, but it wasn't like she had this company or this brand or these people. It was just like, you know, this small group. So like, what more can we do now in 2023? I think it's more than possible. I just think that no one saw that vision because everybody was just so focused on, I'm the most booked, I got clients, I'm making money, I'm the best, I got my I saw your last episode on the egos, and everybody's like trying to be this greatest, but it's like you said, there's a whole other generation that's waiting for us to open the door for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we don't do it, like I always have this quote, I say that somebody's next is waiting on you now, you know? Like, if we don't do this, like, the first competition for someone or the first hair show for someone is waiting on us to be faithful in our present. You know, like, we got to do this now so that way someone can have their next opportunity. You know, they can have the next thing that's available to them. So the pressure's on us, you know what I mean? Like we got to make a move, you know? It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely possible. And I think that just over time, like I said, things grow over time, but I don't want to be the person that blocks someone else's future opportunity. You know, like I don't want to be that door that's a gatekeeper for somebody because I was too scared to jump into this level. And when I talked to you, I was like, you don't want to be that person either. You know, so we don't want to be those people. You know, we just also solicit help. You know, like we're going to need those extra people, brands, but why not? You know, like.
Yeah, why not? And that's like, I would love to see, you know, I've gone back and forth when I've thought about like YouTube channel names, and I wanted to put a name on this called Full Circle, because everything comes back full circle. And I stopped doing that because I was like, oh, I don't know, because like sometimes I want to talk about this, sometimes I want to talk about that, so I just left it at my name. But I would love to have a group, and you know, whatever the name is, like whatever, it doesn't have to have a name, that's kind of cheesy, but like the circle. Because it takes a community, it takes like a circle of people to work together, and we all have like strengths, we all have weaknesses. Like my team at my shop now, like, you know, Amy has one of the girls that works with us, one of our renters, she's been doing hair for like 15 years. Brittany has been doing hair for 10 years, was freaking in Vogue magazine. Barber and hairstylist. Amy was a hairstylist. Nate, we've got Nate on our team, and he's only been doing hair for like a year. Freaking amazing. Like, blows my mind. And his consultations are just gold. Like, the way he communicates with people. I've learned so much from him. I've learned so much from Amy. Like, I've learned so much from Brittany and then Justin, and we all have these strengths, and it's like we're starting to learn who has these strengths in certain areas, and we'll be like, hey, come over here, come help me. And like, that's what the community is, and that's what I want to see people have. Like, anytime I have an issue, like, not an issue per se, but like a question about a shop, or like questions about like, hey, what's the right thing to do here with owning a shop, I go to Peepo. Why do I go to Peepo? Because he doesn't have a high turnover rate. I feel like he treats his people pretty fairly. I saw how he treated everyone during COVID. I saw how he treated everyone when they've been in sickness. And like that's the way like I want to model my business. And so to have a mentor that I can call up on, even though that I guess you could say we're kind of like competition, but like to me there is no competition. There is where people want to go, and there's not enough barbers in Chattanooga to take care of everyone that's coming into Chattanooga. There is no competition. We need to work together. So I think that's like I would love to see a group of people, like-minded people that see a vision, that want to help the younger generation, that want to pour into other people so we can, serve Chattanooga. I think that's the biggest deal. It's like, let's serve Chattanooga so they're not going to like North Georgia. I mean, I love North Georgia, but like I want to keep the money in Tennessee.
It just takes a lot of work. I think what you're talking about with like, having adequate mentorship, like we don't know that we're stepping into a season most of the time until you're there. Like you wake up some days, and Ice Households for me was like, oh shoot, I'm here. Like I have gained enough clientele, and I'm at the point to where I have some value to give back. And I think that it kind of starts with us getting together, just understanding like how do our shops work. Like what's working, what's not. Granted, like I said, it's competition. Everybody may not want to have that type of conversation, but I think if the floor is open and it's an open forum, then who comes. Like who's supposed to be, I'm a firm believer that who's supposed to be there will be there. Who's not supposed to be there won't be there. And God's gonna do what He's gotta do with that group. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And at the end of the day, like, we have enough seasoned veterans, enough seasoned barbers, enough seasoned shop owners that we can definitely get some stuff shaken. You know what I mean? Like everybody just has to be willing to put the ego to the side, to be willing to work with one another, to humble themselves. Like this is deeper than who's got the most clients. This is like, what can we do to prepare a generation of people and help them? And even like, not just the next generation, like our current generation of people. Like there's some people in our generation now that may not understand the finances, understand the business, understand credit, understand taxes, understand life insurance, health insurance, marketing, business management, like financial. Like they may not even know that. They just maybe in the shop cutting hair, like
that you can
trying
actually
to figure it out.
Retirement and insurance. There's options. You can insure your hands. Like they need to know these things because we can't be cutting hair forever.
No, that's not the goal. That's not the goal.
That's
like
not the goal.
I'm trying to retire.
Yes.
That's a big retirement goals.
I told my husband, I said, I want to get moved to like a retirement community. I want a golf cart that has a decked out horn, my own. And I want to drive on down to the ladies and play my bingo and talk about Susie, who just lost her husband, and the scandalous things that she's doing. Like, and drink my wine. Like, I've worked. I want to gossip with my old ladies. Not necessarily gossip. I'm not really into that. But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I want a Golden Girls group. Like, people are like, oh, I can't wait to, like, I want to be young forever. And I'm like, shit. I want my grandkids. I want to feed them with candy because I love children. Send them home crazy as hell. And then go meet my ladies for bingo and drink my wine. Like, that is the life. My husband goes and plays golf. He meets me later. We, like, drink with our friends. We eat. We, like, I don't know. That's living to me. Travel. Yeah. But in order to do that, you have to have a plan. And I feel like for years, barbers have not had a plan for their life. They're just in the now. And you said something in the last video, like, you were looking 10 years ahead. And even, like, Success Addict, the barber Success Addict, he said, you always got to think 10 years in advance. Don't sign a 5-year lease, sign a 10-year lease. Always 10 years. And like that even came from you. All successful people look that far ahead. Yeah, you have to have a goal for next month, next week, the next hour, the next, like you need your years planned out. Steps.
Because the reason why we do that is because when you're losing motivation, your why has to be bigger than you. If it's just like, okay, I want to make 6 figures this year. Cool. Like, you can do that. Like, $40 a haircut, 10 haircuts a day, 5 days a week, $102,000. Crap, you did it. What else?
Yeah.
What else is going to be the next? But if you're like, okay, in 10 years, I want to have, barbershops, barber schools, product lines. I want to be like an industry that I want to be educated on the top show. Like that's a really massive dream that you're probably not going to accomplish in 12 months. So as the year goes on, you always have something to work on. You never should have downtime. You should always be working on another part of your dream at all times. So that's kind of like how I frame my mind now is like, I have like 3 vision boards at the house, and I have one that's like a visual vision board that's like the pictures of like what I want to do, what my life can look like. I have like a whiteboard of like the detailed plans of like the by year, by month, by day, like what I plan to accomplish. And then the third one is like just a list of like, who do I see myself as in 10 years? You know, like who do I see Marc-Anthony as 10 years from now, 40 years old? Like, what is his life gonna look like? And I talk to that man every day. Every day I talk to the future version of myself as if he's here, you know, and then I go through the plans, because it's like, if I do that enough, eventually I'm gonna manifest that to myself. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen, it's gonna be attracted to me. So like with something like this, you know, like Jay Majors wasn't thinking 1 year CT Barber Expo. He was thinking the rest of Barber career history, there's gonna be CT Barber Expo. You know what I mean? Like he was thinking like, I want to create something that's gonna have a legacy when I die. Like CT Expo, when he dies, is gonna live on after him. You know?
100%.
So like,
and such a genuine dude. Like, you don't like when you're there at the expos, he just like comes up to you and starts talking. I'm like, he's talking to me. Like the last expo I was at, I was like, he's talking to me. Like, he wants to see my cuts. Wait, he's gonna follow me back. Like he's following me, and he actually likes some of my stuff. And anytime you comment, he'll comment back. Like, what? Like, just a genuine dude, because that just doesn't happen a lot.
You know another person like that too? Vic Blends.
Yes.
Vic is probably one of the most humble dudes I met in the industry. You know, like I met him at least like twice now, you know, in person, and every time we met, it's been like a genuine conversation. Like we've exchanged some game with each other, you know, contact. You know, he's super cool, down to earth. 360 Jeezy is another person, really really cool. Just met him just like last month down in Miami. Super solid guy. I mean, his wisdom, his man of faith, you know, like super solid dude. Marvy Marv, another good guy, you know, super solid on the like the marketing, the business, like how to get your social media game up. Like they will reach back out to you, they will talk to you, they will mentor you. But I think the problem is that we never put ourselves in the room, you know, like it's not about being the best, it's just about being in the room, you know. And that's something that Erica tells me all the time. Like, you don't gotta be the best, bro. Like, you just gotta understand that there's always a seat at the table as long as you step in the right room, you know. Like, it'll be there for you, you know. So I make it a point now to like go to the hair shows, to go meet these influencers, to go build a relationship, because how will they ever know that Chattanooga's here? How will they ever know that we're here if we actually never go and meet them and talk to them and introduce them to our world, and they actually see like, oh, there's something else going on. So I think like that'll be another step of like, how do we put on like this expo showcase here, is we got to get out. We got to get out. Like we got to close those shops, you know, like be okay with losing a little money on a Sunday or a Monday and go to Nashville to a show, and go to Orlando for a show, and go to LA for a show, and go to Dallas for a show, and go to Connecticut for a show, and go to Cleveland for a show, and go to Houston for a show, go to Austin, go to Orlando, go to like, we have to go. But it's like, if we're so focused on like I said, the present, like our circumstances, we're never gonna grow, you know. That's why, like, you know, I'm definitely taking a challenge, like, you know.
But it's not losing money. You can't view it as that. And I think like one thing that when we got married, you know, finances, you understand, you're freshly married as well. When you get married, you gotta learn to communicate. And, you know, our hair classes, especially hands-on, can be taxing. And for someone that doesn't understand our world, they're like, what? But you're already licensed. Why are you doing that? And I think the first, like, my husband, I wanted to go to this hair class, and he was like, that's a lot of money. We don't need to do that. We got this bill, this bill. And I called one of my good friends, or texted him, Roger, who I was talking about earlier, one of the sales reps, and I said, can you, because he's married to a hairstylist too, like all in the hair world, and he said, I'll give him a call. And I was like, yeah, just give him a call. I was like, I know it's because he doesn't understand, or text him, but he's like, just bring it up naturally next conversation. And he did, and then finally my husband got it. And it's like, it's not that it's $1,000, it's $1,000 that's invested into my career, that's going to make me give a better experience, which is going to make me financially, like, it'll pay off. Every education that I've done has paid off. And so it's an investment. You're not, you might not see that money that week, but you'll see it over the years. It's that 10-year plan that we talked about, that 10-year plan.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things I feel like you can get the education, but the real secret sauce is execution. You know, you can learn like one of my mentors just recently told me, he said, you're addicted to education, but you're allergic to execution. Like that's your generation. Like y'all learn, y'all go to classes, y'all get all the tips, the gems, the hints, the secrets, but none of you guys execute. That's why it's like one that makes it to the top, you know, like one that stands out, because there's only like one or two that actually do the steps to get to the next level. Most people just talk the talk, you know, and like they like to do these little form stuff, but like I think for us, like, you know, the challenge is let's actually execute, you know, like let's actually not just talk about it, let's like put something on it and make something happen, you know. Like I like this because, you know, this is documented, it's something we can look back on, this is something we can put a date and a timestamp on and say, yeah, well, we talked about it then, you know. Now it's what have we done from point A to point B, and if something hasn't like fulfilled or manifested itself, it's on us, you know, like but I also believe in like divine timing too, you know, so like you don't want to be ahead of God's timing, but at the same time, faith without works is dead, you know what I mean? So you can't believe it and dream it and love it and not be willing to put the work in to attain it, you know. So we believe it and we hope it, you know. He said you got the idea, time to put the grind in, you know, to make something happen. So I'm not saying that we're immediately gonna like drop a whole showcase in August, you know, but whenever that time is, y'all stay tuned.
It's gonna happen.
Definitely got some
We're
stuff
manifesting it. I'm gonna go put it on my vision board, like you said. I've got one too. Guys, if you want to execute, you gotta have a vision board. I'm sorry, there's no way around it. You gotta write this shit down. You gotta get corny as hell. Cut out the magazines. Like I've even got glitter. I made my business partner do it, and he's like, "This is gonna be so stupid. This is gonna be so stupid." And then that day, he's like, "I'm so excited," and he's like, "Thank you so much for letting me do it, because it really does. It's like it's so much fun doing that." But yeah, we're gonna make this happen. Whether, you know, I'm seeing like a year down the road, a small one starting out, 10 years down the road, competing with Salon Centric and Cosmoprof. Like, I don't want to say compete, but at that level. Yeah. Because it's not competing. The more education, the better. But yeah, like, I want to get a group together, and if you're seeing this and you're on the same level as Anthony and I, like, reach out. Like I told you, his Instagram, Marc-Anthony Experience. I'm Scoring the Barber. Get in touch with us. Like, let's get something together. Like, let's meet up.
Tap in. You don't have to be local. You don't have to be local. In the digital age, we're just a DM and a text away or an email away. So if you guys follow us on the socials, like I said, get in touch with us. Tap in with us. If you guys have any more ideas, questions, comments, concerns, we are open books. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Yeah. We let you guys know what we're thinking. So let's see where this thing can go.
Yeah. So you heard that. Like, subscribe. Tune in next week for Scoring the Barber. Bye.